Hello everyone, welcome to our series India After Independence. It was felt that frequent recurrence to agitations, protests, and collective actions are not good for democracy. Supporters of Indira Gandhi also held that in a democracy you cannot continuously have extra parliamentary politics targeting the government. This leads to instability and distracts the administration from its routine task of ensuring development. All energies are diverted to maintenance of law and order. Indira Gandhi wrote in a letter to the Shah Commission that subversive forces were trying to obstruct the progressive program of the government and were attempting to dislodge her from power through extra constitutional means. Some other parties, like the CPI, that continued to back the Congress during the emergency, the CPI felt that the agitations led by JP were mainly by the middle class who were opposed to the radical policies of the Congress party. On the other hand, others think that if some agitations had overstepped their limits, the government had enough routine powers to deal with it. There were no need to suspend democratic functioning and use draconian measures like the emergency for that. The threat was not to the unity and integrity of the country but to the ruling party and to the Prime Minister herself. The critics say that Indira Gandhi misused a constitutional provision meant for saving the country to save her personal power. The emergency at once brought out both the weaknesses and the strengths of India's democracy. Lessons of the emergency can be summarized as: first, democratic functioning resumed within a short span of time. There's one lesson of emergency that it is extremely difficult to do away with democracy in India. Secondly, it brought out some ambiguities regarding the emergency provision in the constitution that have been ratified since. Now, internal emergency can be proclaimed only on the grounds of armed rebellion, and it is necessary that the advice to the president to proclaim emergency must be given in writing by the Council of Ministers. Thirdly, the emergency made everyone more aware of the value of civil liberties. Fourth, the actual implementation of the emergency rule took place through the police and the administration. These institutions could not function independently. They were turned into political instruments of the ruling party, and according to the Shah Commission report, the administration and the police became vulnerable to political pressures. These problems did not vanish after the emergency. The Janta Interregnum 1977 to 84. After being released from jails, opposition leaders of various hues, Congress, O, Socialist, Bharatiya Lokdal, etc., formed Janata Party and won the general elections of 1977. In seven northern seats, Congress only got two seats and was virtually wiped out. Surprisingly, in southern states, performance of Congress improved as emergency was less severely implemented in these states and 20-point program was better implemented. However, victory of Janata Party didn't mean a smooth transition as there was a tough overpost of PM among Morarji Desai, Jagjeevan Ram and Charan Singh in which Desai emerged as winner. New central government dismissed governments in nine Congress ruled states and embarked on a journey to undo the work done by previous government. 44th Amendment tried to restore the constitutional framework and also restored power of judicial review. New policies of the government took a U turn from the planned approach of the earlier government. It stressed on decentralized planning, replacing heavy industries with cottage industry, and promoting a rich peasantry led agriculture growth fueled by generous subsidies and shift of resources from industry to rural sector. It also launched a radical food for work program to improve rural employment and also boost rural infrastructure. It was especially well implemented in West Bengal. It also tried to reorient its foreign policy to genuine non alignment and tried to go closer to the US and the UK and moderating relations with the USSR. However, there were no fundamental new visions and economy didn't improve. Floods and droughts made situation even worse and budget deficit increased. Janta government was a heterogeneous group of opportunist politicians and it soon showed signs of disintegration. Social tensions were also on the rise as there were confusion in rural areas over new policies of Janta government. which were opposite to policies of Indira government. Many landlords tried to take their lands back. Communal incidents were also on rise. The Janata Party government could not bring about a fundamental change in policies from those pursued by the Congress. The Janata Party split and the government, which was led by Morarji Desai, lost its majority in less than 18 months. Another government headed by Charan Singh was formed on the assurance of the support of the Congress Party. But the Congress Party later decided to withdraw its support with the result that the Charan Singh government could remain in power for just about 4 months. Thank you.